Hey guys, in this month's Disney Rewind, we're going to be talking about Ratatouille, released back in 2007. Ratatouille follows a little rat named Remy who dreams of becoming a chef and creating tasty meals. But one day he gets separated from his family and he winds up in this high establishment restaurant, and he meets a young chef, or a young boy named Linguini, and Remy feels it his duty to help Linguini become a chef and raise this restaurant to greater heights, so it becomes the best restaurant in Paris, France. Is that good? I think that was a good summary. I think that's what the movie's about, right? I don't really practice synopsises, you guys. I kind of just go with it, because the longer I think about it, the worse it gets. But anyway, Stephanie, how did you feel about Ratatouille?
I love Ratatouille.
So cute.
It's a fun movie.
It makes you hungry.
It does. It's very visual.
Yeah. Pixar is always a very visual experience, but Ratatouille is definitely like super sensory, because you're sitting there watching it and you're like, oh my god, I'm hungry. I want some Ratatouille now.
But yeah, I like everything about the movie. I like, the characters and the story. It's got a nice story.
It's a very colorful cartoon. Okay, the Disney and Pixar are always colorful, but it's just super colorful, I feel like. And it just really heightens, the prettiness of Paris, France, but also kind of showing some of the not so pretty,
parts
the
they
sewers.
don't show.
Yeah, the sewers, but yeah, Ratatouille it's such a good movie. I don't think I have any problems with Ratatouille.
There's not a bad thing about Ratatouille.
because Pixar, the movies are usually about 2 hours long, and that really just adds, that you get that time to really connect with the story and the characters. It really helps kind of having something a bit longer like that. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything really wrong with this movie at all. The characters are really well done, the story is really well done.
It's really well paced too.
Yeah, there's a lot that happens in the movie, and it kind of all goes at a nice little pace and flow that nothing ever feels too rapid, I don't think.
It's a movie that definitely makes you feel bad for rats.
For rats, yeah. Every time you put out rat poison in your yard, you feel bad now, because you're thinking, oh, Remy! I want a little chef to come into my house and make me Ratatouille. But no, I just put rat poison out there and kill all the rats.
Not us. I have rats.
Poor rats. I feel bad. It does. This movie makes you feel bad for little rodents.
Because it makes you like, oh, they want to eat.
They just want to eat.
They can't help that they were born.
They're just trying to survive, man.
Can't help that everybody hates them.
It's like this movie is kind of serving that purpose, rats are people too. I feel like it was trying to make you feel guilty for killing them.
Kind of like A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life goes into the life of how they live, and then you're like squish.
Yeah, and then later you squish a spider and you feel bad, because then you're thinking about a bug's life and you're like, oh, I'm trying to kill that spider. I really liked Remy as a character. He's really cute. It's like he's like the progressive rat, essentially. Like I want to go out and do things. I don't want to be a rat anymore, just digging around in trash. I want to concoct fantastic tasting meals.
I like that he didn't want to walk on his paws.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I can't dirty the food.
Yeah.
It'll ruin the taste.
Yeah. Because then all the other rats around him would be walking, on all fours, and be like, stop. It's gonna dirty your hands, they're nasty.
Well, he first started off as a rat poison checker.
Yeah.
Because Remy has a special nose.
Yeah. I really liked Remy's function in this movie. It was really interesting because if you've seen the movie, I don't want to sit here and spend too much time recapping certain things. So if you've seen the movie, you know kind of what I'm talking about. But yeah, that the chef Gusteau, right? Mm-hmm. Gusteau has died sometime.
That's the only part of the movie that was kind of just slightly confusing. Or not confusing, but you'd like to know more about.
Yeah, you don't really know when Gusteau died, like how long it's been. I feel like it's supposed to have been a little while.
Because it was his restaurant was a 5-star restaurant. It dropped 1 star after he died, and I can't remember why they said it lost another star. Like maybe they just weren't
from Anton Ego, I think.
Yeah, like because he just gave like this really bad review, and then it knocked a star off.
But yeah, I really like Remy's role, because the big spoiler you get with this movie, the young guy Linguini, he's the I guess illegitimate son. Linguini's like the illegitimate love child of Gusteau, which is like, oh good lord, it's like you don't want to think about it, but but that's where Linguini comes from.
Pixar.
So Linguini's he's really kind of, he's just all over the place. He's a little manic. He don't really ever stand still. He has trouble communicating, getting his thoughts out coherently.
He certainly didn't get anything from Gusteau.
Linguini doesn't really have any of Gusteau's talent or anything, but he, in Gusteau's will, he's been given this opportunity, like, hey, help him out. He can maybe become the next me, essentially, the next Gusteau, possibly. So that's kind of where Remy comes in. I feel like I keep kind of backtracking all over the place. Remy's role, I really like his role, because Remy is almost like this Jiminy Cricket sort of role to Linguini when you think about it, because, Gusteau is dead, and sometimes I kind of felt like Remy was almost this manifestation of Gusteau, like a spiritual version of Gusteau, weirdly enough, to Linguini. Since Linguini does not have his dad, Gusteau is not there. Linguini, he needs all the help and inspiration he can get, and Remy is this weird manifestation of Gusteau, some sort of spiritual animal guide, if you will. And it makes me think of like Jiminy Cricket's function in Pinocchio. Jiminy is this manifestation of a conscience for Pinocchio, for Pinocchio not to, what is good, what is bad, and so Remy kind of functions that same way to me. I sometimes I feel like he's more than just a rat. It's like he is a physical rat, but I think the purpose of this movie, even though it is Remy and Linguini's story, I almost kind of feel like it is more Linguini's story, and Remy is kind of this manifestation of Gusteau in spirit form.
It was
if
fate
that makes
that
sense.
They met.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not really making sense of my thoughts, but like Remy is more than what he is kind of what I'm getting at, if that makes sense. Because Gusteau pops up as he's a spirit to Remy,
and then Remy's the only one who can
see him.
Remy's the only one who can see him and relay his
messages to Linguini. So I really like Remy's role and function, because he's more than a rat.
And then too, even though Remy's a rat, like Gusteau tells him all the time, like about not stealing. Like what he needs will come to him. He doesn't have to resort to petty crimes. that what he wants will slowly come to him. He just has to be a patient little rat.
I think this movie has a lot of life lessons in it. I feel like
you must be patient.
Yeah, it's about patience. Waiting for things to come to you. If you wait,
with patience with Linguini, like when they're trying to get down the movement.
I also really liked Colette. Colette's this no-nonsense French woman.
I like her whole opening speech when she's first talking to Linguini about, why do you not see a woman in here? And she just gets all off on him and stuff, and he's just like, oh Jesus.
I really liked Colette, and I liked her relationship with Linguini. It kind of comes out of nowhere almost, but
it does.
You gotta kind of roll with it. It is just a 2-hour movie after all. But I like their relationship, and kind of that stuff that kind of pops up near the end when Linguini once he gets famous, and he's not really acknowledging where his inspiration has come from. He's not only ignoring Remy, but also ignoring Colette, who also helped him out immensely, gave him advice and structure and order. But yeah, I liked her. I liked all the kitchen staff. They were all
Yeah.
hilarious. They were all like
They had their own little.
They were all archetypes and stereotypes of some sense, but it is a Pixar movie. You're going to get that. But
Of course,
yeah, I liked all of them.
you always have the killer in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Or supposed killer.
Yeah.
There's always that guy.
Anton Ego. I was going to call him the villain, but he's not really the villain. You know, Anton Ego's he's just a
doing his
grumpy.
job.
He's just a grumpy man. Yeah, he's a critic. That's kind of another big thing about this movie, is just the role of critics, and you know, that sometimes you gotta take bad advice, you know, to make things better. But yeah, he goes overboard with bad.
Well, I think too
criticism.
I think he does, like he gets more fame
being negative.
from being negative.
Yeah.
Like I think he said, I can't remember if he mentioned it like this, that like once he wrote his first bad review, like, you know, it's kind of like people liked that more.
Yeah.
And so that encouraged him in a wrong way to write negative things, because that's what gets you more famous, is being negative about it.
I mean, think about like YouTube and social media. What gets the most likes and thumbs up a lot of times is scathing negativity, you know,
and reactions, the most reactions, whether they're for that or against what they're saying.
People love negativity for some stupid reason. Everybody gravitates toward negativity.
And people want to see people either arguing or, you know.
Yeah, and that's kind of Anton Ego. That is his career and his life. He makes money off of negativity, essentially, and putting people down, putting establishments down, and it's kind of terrible. And then when he gives that positive review at the very end of the movie, what does he say? Like, his credibility, he lost all credibility because of his very popular or positive attitude towards the food. And he lost his job because of his positivity, which is a shame.
But then that made him a happier person.
But then he became a happier, more fulfilled person, and we see him at the end, and he's like,
good job for your
he's sitting there sipping some wine. He looks happy and relaxed. But I guess the villain, I mean, Pixar doesn't really have villains. You know, people are more like antagonists and foils, but the more villainous is, I guess, the head chef, the little short guy.
Yeah.
God, what was his name? I can't even remember his name, but the head chef guy, he definitely had a vendetta against Linguini from the start. I think he was just happy Gusto died. Yeah, and we see him.
He wants to be
the
head guy, I guess.
Yeah, he wants to be in charge. He wants to make just quick, easy money, because we see him.
He wants to open all these takeout places
and microwave dinners, essentially. He just wants quick, easy money. He doesn't want to work for it, and he's degraded the name of Gusto's essentially by turning it into microwavable food for the masses, you know, and that's not the point of this restaurant. The point of this restaurant is, you know, to create a vibe and an experience. That's why you go there, and instead he's turned it, he's molded it into little microwavable dinners, and it's like disgusting, you know. And
it's not even stuff that's in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like he's trying to serve, he wants to have, you know, Gusto's Chinese and Gusto's Western food or whatever. Yeah. And stuff that's not even in his. Yeah. Because then he mentioned burritos.
Yeah, like he wanted to make Gusto's burritos.
Like microwavable burritos. And that's stuff
fried chicken.
That's not even stuff that Gusto's focuses on.
But I feel like this whole movie is just a big commentary on various different things when you think about it. You know, about consumerism, consumerism and criticism. There's a lot going on in this movie when you think about it. Just commentating on a lot of various different things of society and culture when it comes to food, I guess.
You have Remy, you know, Remy's family. I mean, he's got like a bazillion family, but his family was his father and his brother, and they have no. They don't believe in him, that he can, you know, they're confused and angry about why he's helping out a human and why he's doing weird human things, and they don't believe in him until.
I think Remy's family is just a commentary on the whole thing too, of like, just social status, you know, social status in society.
They're
and
rats, they're lower class, they
Yeah.
can't rise up to be greater things.
Yeah, a whole thing of, you know, your position in life, that's kind of where you're going to stay, because that's what society says is where you're going to stay, and yet Remy don't want to do that, you know?
They realize that Remy has a passion for cooking, and they want to help him out, and then they too, at the end, they're all happy. And they're fine dining now. They all have wonderful food in front of them.
So, Stephanie, if you had to rank Ratatouille on a scale of 1 to 10 Mickey ears, what would you give it?
Ratatouille gets 10.
10?
I love Ratatouille.
Let me think. Do I love Ratatouille that much? God, I'm not sure. Do I? Do I love Ratatouille that much? I think I do. I think I'll just go ahead for the hell of it and give Ratatouille a 10, because there's seriously nothing wrong with this movie. You know? There's nothing wrong with this movie. It's just kind of a perfect little thing. It tells a really good story, has good characters. Like I said, there's a lot of just random commentary in there about just various different things. It's a really good movie. I feel like this is one of those Pixar movies that sometimes gets overlooked.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's always so much focus on The Incredibles and Monsters, Inc. and Finding Nemo, you know? And I feel like a lot of times Ratatouille is overlooked and people kind of don't really think about it when they're like, you know, ranking their favorite Pixar movies. Oh, Up, yeah. Like Up, everyone always goes on about Up. I mean, I love Up, but I don't know if I like Up more than Ratatouille. I mean, I don't know. We haven't got to Up yet. We haven't got to Up yet. We haven't got to our rewatch of that, so I don't know. I might feel differently, but...
I already have a rating for Up.
But for me, I feel like Ratatouille, you know, is one of the better Pixar movies, and people overlook it. Do you feel that way?
I feel like maybe it's because Ratatouille is a very quiet movie, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very quiet. There's not much chaos, except for, you know, some scenes with, you know, crazy stuff happening. But it's not like, you know, The Incredibles, where there's stuff happening.
Like a lot of action. It is. It's not a very action-packed movie. It is a more quiet, I guess,
and I mean,
introspective
even the
movie.
music, I guess, the music just... Sometimes
Yeah.
I can't remember if there were scenes where there wasn't even any music. Like, it's just more... It's just a very more tame movie that maybe it just doesn't grab people's attention because there's not flashy things.
Oh, something I did want to bring up very quickly. I almost forgot about this. The animation. I was just something just immediately at the very start of this movie. You know, because the movie is done in the traditional, you know, the 3D, like how Pixar does. But there was something about Ratatouille that it was really giving me these early Disney vibes, like especially something like 101 Dalmatians or something like that. And I was just sitting thinking, Ratatouille, it's a gorgeous film, but it's also the type of movie that would have probably been really beautiful just as hand-drawn animation. There was just something about it that I could have seen as hand-drawn, especially if Disney had done it back in like the 60s or 70s or something, you know? I think it would have made for a really pretty, just hand-drawn. You know, we're so used to these CG movies, and every now and then you kind of watch one of the movies and you're like, man, I wonder what this would have looked like just hand-drawn, you know? And I think Ratatouille is definitely one of those, like, oh, this would have been so pretty, you know? But yeah, is that it for this review? I guess that's it for this review, you guys. In the comments below, have you guys seen Ratatouille? Do you love it? Do you hate it? If you hate it, that's okay. Just let us know why. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like... Stephanie said it's not okay if you didn't hear. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.